everybody to the Single and Stilettos Show. I'm Suzanne Oshima, and I'm a matchmaker and dating coach at Dream Bachelor and Bachelorette, and I'm also the founder of Single and Stilettos. Today we have on our show Marni Kinrys, and she's a wing girl and founder at winggirlmethod.com, and I'm so excited to have her here today because, ladies, she's going to give you the secrets about men, and trust me, she knows because she's worked with them for over a decade, and she's going to tell you today, are men alpha males attracted to strong, independent women? Because I hear all too often strong, independent women, especially here living in New York, they want an alpha male. So she's going to tell us the truth about this. But before she does, Marni, tell our audience a little bit about you and how you became a wing girl, because it's a funny story.
Yeah, well, so I've been a wing girl for over a decade now, and I started being a wing. Well, I've been a wing girl for my entire life with all of my guy friends, but I've been a professional wing girl for over a decade, and it started when I was at a singles mixer at a rabbi's house, random, and nobody was talking to each other. So after I realized I wasn't interested in anybody, I had met my husband a month before, so that's why I wasn't interested. But I started grabbing men and pulling them towards women and helping with being their icebreaker and helping the conversation get going. And I did that with a lot of people in the room. And by the end of the night, people were mixing, they were making out, they were exchanging phone numbers. So I felt that I did a good job as a wing girl. So when I went home, I had said to my roommate, I want to be a wing girl. And he told me there's no way that guys would want that. They don't care what women think. And I was like, you're not right. So I posted an ad on Craigslist and I had over 75 guys respond back by the next morning. So I started, and then that business in the very beginning has transformed into what it is today, which is mainly an online company, but it's where I give advice and techniques. And anyway, I help men, thousands of men all over the world every single day, learn how to attract, date, seduce, and get the women they want. And I love it.
Awesome. And now she's helping ladies too.
Yes. And I'm taking the information that I've learned from men that I didn't know about how men work, and now I'm relaying that information to women. Or hopefully relaying that information to women properly.
You are.
We'll see.
So Marni, you work with a lot of men, and I know a good portion are alpha males. And I always hear from strong, independent women that they want an alpha male. And I want you to tell our audience, are alpha males really attracted to the strong, independent career woman?
They are. They definitely are. But the thing is that men want to be wanted. They need to be needed. And they don't want to feel like they're the feminine energy in the relationship. There's a big difference between strong, confident, independent, and aggressive, abrasive. I'm trying to think of another word for independent, where it's
Marni, I think what you're trying to say is a strong alpha male doesn't want a woman who wears the pants in a relationship or in the dating phases.
He doesn't want to date another strong alpha male. That's what he's looking for. I'll give you an example of one of my girlfriends, and within her relationship, the things that she does. She is an awesome woman. Mm-hmm. She is a strong, independent, confident woman. But what she does is she just lives her life on her own without living in the relationship. She's not considerate of her husband. If she has something to do on the weekends, she doesn't tell him that she's doing it. She just goes and does it. And
oh my God, she should be single.
Right, exactly. So things like that. So it's that type. I don't want to call it that type of independence. It's like I don't even know how to phrase it properly, but it's I don't know. Maybe you have a better way of phrasing it. Do you see what I'm having a hard time thinking of the word to define it, but it's exactly a woman who wears the pants, but it's a woman who's not really considerate of the other person in the relationship. There's sometimes when independence can go too far. There's sometimes when confidence can go too far. Men like confident women, and women like confident men. But overly confident where it becomes cocky, overly confident where it becomes abrasive and insulting and demeaning, that's when it's a turnoff.
Well, and this is what I will say, and I think, and I don't have the exact word for it either, but I'm going to
Yeah.
describe it in this way, and you tell me if I'm right or wrong.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so men, like you said, they love, independent women that have their own passions, that, they have their own career, but they don't want a woman that feels like I don't need a man. Because I
Right.
find a lot of strong independent women will say, yeah, I can do that on my own. I don't really need a man. It would be nice to have a man, but I don't need a man. So if you have that attitude, guess what? You're not going to have the right man. But this is what I would say is women want to have their own life. He wants to have his own life, but then you have to be able to bring your lives together and share it together. And like when you were describing your friend, like she doesn't know how to share that life together. She knows how to have
Right.
her own life, but she doesn't know how to share it with the man in her life.
Right. Right. Absolutely. That's exactly what I'm trying to say. It's about compromise in relationships. And it's interesting because listen, I don't need a man either in my life. I can do a lot of things. I just installed a dimmer the other day. I was very proud of myself for that. I don't need a man in my life, but I want a partner and I want a man in my life. And when I want something, and I'm sure most independent, confident women can attest to this, when you want something, you go after it, right?
Right.
So if you want that man in your life, you have to go after it the exact same way as opposed to constantly saying, I don't need you in my life. I don't need you for X, Y, and Z. It's going after it, showing that thing, which is the man, how to be part of your life and how you guys can work together to make an even better, strong, independent, confident life for the two of you.
Exactly. And this is what I find too, because like Marnie, what you were just saying is that, yes, I don't quote unquote need a man in my life, but it's nice to have, right? So here's the
Right.
thing is that I find that a lot of strong independent women, yes, of course you could do all of these things on your own. You can plan the dates, you can take charge and do all these things. Of course you can do it because you're capable. But the thing is that wouldn't it be nice if you had a man in your life that could take care of all those things for you? Because I know the majority of strong independent women still want that man to do all those things for her because she
Right.
wants to feel taken care of, she wants to feel protected. But if you don't allow a man to do those things for you, I don't think, and Marnie, correct me if I'm right or wrong, an alpha male is going to stick around for that long if you keep taking charge and taking over and you don't let him do some of those things.
Right. Well, you know how you feel if you feel unneeded.
Right.
You back off. There's no point of you being there. So it becomes very discouraging for men. Why am I here? What do you want me for? And I understand that that's his own emotions and he should be dealing with those things. But at the end of the day, you're trying to live a life together, whether it's for fun and sex or for, a serious partnership. It's still the same thing. It's like, if you don't need me, then what the hell am I here for? So yeah, I completely agree with you.
Exactly. And ladies, I will tell you this, every single man that I've ever worked with, and even just friends of mine that are men, have said that if a woman doesn't make a man feel needed, he just kind of moves on because a man needs to feel needed in a relationship. And that's really important to remember. So,
Yeah, listen, I even have the same trouble in my own relationship at times because there's times where I'm very confident, very independent. Like as I said, I don't need a man. And my husband doesn't need me either, but he works really hard to include me, to ask me questions, to make decisions together as a unit, as opposed to just like him doing his own thing and me doing my own thing. So I've kind of learned from him about how to be a confident, independent woman who can still work with somebody else. So I'm reminded quite often that I can be headstrong and just go after whatever I want, but I have a partner to also be considerate of. So what we actually do is every week this is going to sound so unsexy, but I send out an agenda for us about, things that need to be taken care of in the house, of things that I want done, of things that he may want done, of dinners we're going to have, of plans we have for the week. And then we have a really nice dinner where we talk about things calmly and we talk about what needs to be accomplished and who's going to do what. So that's not me taking control or him taking control or me being down on him because he hasn't done X, Y, and Z. And I know that I can do it better and faster. It just creates, it's like a nice work environment. It just creates a very nice, loving space for for the two of us to work together so that I'm not off on my own and he's not off on his own.
Right. Which means you guys have a great marriage.
Oh, thank you. We try.
All right. So these have been some great tips. So Marni, tell the ladies how they can find you and what you have to offer the women.
Yeah, well, you can go to winggirlmethod.com and there's a tab on the very top that is for women because, as I said, I mainly help men, but I just started helping women as well. And I have newsletters you can sign up for free. And I have a program that's called That's Not How Men Work, which is based on all of the information I've learned about men from the men I've worked with. And now I'm relaying that information to women. And you can get that at winggirlmethod.com/menwork. But you can also check out my podcast, the Ask Women Podcast, which is fantastic. It's entertaining. We have lots of celebrities on there, lots of normal people on there. It's just awesome. So yeah, check that out.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much, everybody, for joining us on the Single and Stiletto Show. If you like our show, it's available both in video format and podcast format. If you like to view the videos, you can go to singleandstilettos.com. And if you'd like to get the podcast, you can download it from iTunes. If you'd like to get our free ebook on the 3 secrets guaranteed to attract any man, and it's actually based on scientific research, you can click right here on the video, or you can go to singleandstilettos.com.